In today's video, we do a comparison for the Astra Militarum, 3 different options. But before we get into today's video, just want to share with you what the GGGGs are for this month. Each month, Bob the Beholder picks some of my Patreon supporters for gratitude gifts. And for this month of November of 2024, we have this Ravaged Lands Shattered Storm Vault box that I'll be mailing out. And $100 to go towards the crowdfunding campaign, which my Patreon supporters voted upon. It was a tie this time, so it will be winner's choice between the Avalon, the Riven Vale campaign, or the Lands of Evershade campaign on GameFound. Go ahead and use the link below to go to my Patreon page where you can find out more information on how you can get in on that. Bob will be making his draw this coming Sunday, December 1st. Also, before we get started, I want to announce that Hey Gears is having their Black Friday sale for $150 off their RS model. If you haven't seen my review video and why I think that's the best printer on the market today, go ahead and check it out here. But wanted to also announce, if you did purchase that they now do have the Past 10 bottle. I suggested to people to go ahead and spend the $45 to buy the PARP 10 and just reuse this bottle, refill it with the Past 10, which is only $33. Finally makes the proprietary resin from Hey Gears affordable, so this is definitely the route that you want to go. And most of these prints that you see here has been made with my Hey Gears. Use my affiliate link to go to Hey Gears page if you are interested in purchasing that RS. A while ago, I did do a comparison video of 3D printing out a Seraphon army. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out here. But this is a very similar video, but instead of a fantasy army, now it is going to be a Grimdark future army. And I used this as a way for playing one-page rules. Or you can use this army for your favorite futuristic tabletop war game. Now, I do have 3 options, and obviously I went with the 3D printable option from Across the Realms. But this video, we're going to spend most of it at the computer because what I'm going to be doing is a comparison between Games Workshop Astra Militarum as well as Mantic's options for the GCPS. And then finally, the option that I went for, which is 3D printed miniatures from Across the Realms. If you haven't seen my original video where I went through my thought process of how I ended up choosing doing a Imperial Guard army, go ahead and check that out here. I'm not going to be rehashing that, but mostly wanted to show a comparison of some of the options if you are interested in creating a Imperial Army or Astra Militarum army set. And some of the pros and cons, and obviously there's going to be a huge price difference. So let's go ahead and go to the computer. We can do comparisons. In the meantime, I will be showing off close-ups of all of the miniatures that you see here. All right, so first thing that's really helpful is go to the one-page rules wiki page. And when you get to the main page, go ahead and scroll down, go to Grimdark Future, and then go to Grimdark Future Miniatures right here. And then we're going to go to Human Defense Force. The reason why I'm going to this page is One Page Rules basically makes recommendations based off of their army list, all of the units that they have, and then suggested miniatures. Now, before we compare with GW as well as Mantic, I do want to quickly say that One Page Rules has been just now started working on creating their own Human Defense Force miniatures. So this is a line so far. It's going to take a couple of months for them to fill out and have units for every single one that is on the army list. But just note that this is definitely an option if you want to 3D print. They didn't have this when I first started exploring creating a Human Defense Force army. That's why I went otherwise. But I think some of these miniatures look super cool. I think One Page Rules over time has gotten better with their sculpting. So overall, this is a great deal. And it looks like they have Black Friday sale in My Mini Factory. So if you want half off, I also know that if you're a Patreon supporter, you can oftentimes get discounts as well. So it's definitely worth it to become a patron if you want the discount. So what I'm going to do as a way of comparing is I created my army list here of ones that I really wanted. and we're going to just compare what the price is going to be, trying to get the minimum number of units that I need in order to have this army. So we're going to go ahead and just start off with some leaders, and we'll keep a tally as we go along. There's a bunch of different options for leaders. We'll go ahead and just click on one. And here is a whole command squad where you're going to get a good number of leaders. Let's go ahead and just put $45 here. Okay, now with the GCPS from Mantic, I would suggest picking up the Strike Force. So let's go ahead and click on that instead of buying things piecemeal, because this is going to save you money. And what I'm going to do is just put up here 110. Now obviously you can get discounted prices for these. I'm just going to go off of what's on their website, considering that you can get 15% off of retailers. But this is going to include 40 core units, so I'm going to put 0 here and count them as recruits. And then it also includes 2 walkers, so I'm going to put a 0 here, although we'll need to pick up a 3rd walker. And then this thing here, although it's not a light APC, we can count it as a light APC, so let's go ahead and put a 0 here. So for that $100, you're going to get 1 leader and then all of these taken care of. So that takes care of Mantic. And then here in my mini factory with Across the Realms, there is a campaign that might be more beneficial for you to do a late pledge. So just hit tiers. Even though this campaign is over, you can late buy the all-in for $75. So let's go ahead and put $75 here as the beginning price to get the STLs. And what that does is it's going to give you the basic infantry, the stormtroopers, a bunch of officers, assistants, support weapons, more leaders, walkers, the light APC, and the main battle tank, which I didn't use. So we're going to go ahead and just put zeros next to these. They are, I think, regular infantry, so we'll put 0 there. Stormtroopers, it said, 0 there. I think it includes the weapons teams. I'll have to double check. The light APC. The walkers. So for $75, you're getting all of those. You can buy them piecemeal, but I think that's a better deal. And again, here, if you're a Patreon supporter, you do get a discount to anything that's on the website. And of course, right now during Black Friday, you can get 50% off the whole store. That $75 becomes $37. Okay, so now we're going to check out the recruits. Now, I know here it says Cadian Shock Troops, but the better option for the recruits, the cheapest units that you can get are the Catachan Jungle Fighters. And you're getting 10 of these models for $37. So we're going to multiply that because we need 40 of them. So 4 times 37. And that's going to cost us $148. Mantic, it's included since that's the base box that we're going to get. And let's go to Across the Realms. And again, this might be included in the campaign pledge, but I'm not 100% sure. Since I'm not 100% sure, I'm going to go ahead and just add this file, which is $14.99 for all of the Jungle Fighters. And of course, you only need to buy it once and just reprint them multiple times like I did. And here is a video of the ones that I printed out and painted. I painted these quickly as possible since there are 40 of them. And I quick painted with contrast colors, so I could get these out as quickly as possible. And these units basically can't shoot for crap. You need a 6+ in order to hit, but they are bodies in order to take over objectives on the field, and they're hard to blow off. That's why I need so many of them. All right, now we are going to move on to the regular infantry, and this is where I do think the Cadian Shock Troops is appropriate. And let's go ahead and grab the Combat Patrol because this is going to be a better deal than buying everything separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace this with the Combat Patrol because it looks like you get all of the leaders that was found in that pack. And then it looks like you're getting about 20 regular troopers. So you could use them both for infantry and for veterans since you're getting 20 of them. So I'm going to put 0 here and 0 here, assuming that you're you can switch between infantry or veterans between the two. So I'm going to just give them the benefit of the doubt with the pricing. So let's go with that. You're also getting 1 walker, 1 heavy weapon, and 2 heavy weapons teams. So let's go ahead and score that as well. I'm going to put 0 there. Reminder that there's 2 of them. And then here is 1 walker. So let's try to remember that. Now this is where it's going to be tricky with Mantic, because it's really hard to distinguish between the infantry units. So if we're using the base units as the regular recruits, somehow we're going to need to distinguish who the regular infantry is. And because the sculpts aren't different, maybe what we do is, what I did was, there's 2 different kinds of helmets, so I could distinguish between regular infantry and the veterans or stormtroopers. So you have to do maybe a different paint job in order to distinguish them. But they're relatively cheap, because if you look here, you can get a box of 20 troopers for $37.50. So let's go ahead and put that here. And then since you're getting 20 of them, I'm going to put 0 there. So that's going to fill out your units over here. Let's go ahead and go to Across the Realm. So these are the basic infantry, and these are the basic models that came from the campaign. And as you can see here, I'm using them as my infantry. And there's more than 10 here, obviously, because I opted to print out a number of different heavy weapons options, like these plasma cannons as well as grenade launchers. And you can pick up basically the Death Creed Core version or the Veterans for $15. I didn't print these out, but let's go ahead and put those in. And then finally, in terms of infantry, let's look at Stormtroopers. And here are the Tempestus Scions. And because you only get 5, we're going to have to double that in order to get 10. So $90 here. Again, with Mantic here, you are so limited with the kinds of troops that you have. See, none of these are different. So we're just going to have to pick up, I think, another box of troopers. So let's just add $37.50 here for another box of that. Check out these Stormtroopers or Storm Babes from Across the Realm. I really like the color scheme that I put on them with the red armor and helmets combined with the green. Printed out more than 10 just because I wanted specialty units like this medic here, as well as some heavy weapons and the flag bearer. So a ton of options coming with these Storm Babes. Here, I don't see snipers. Yeah, let's just not buy snipers here because I don't see any. So you probably have to kit bash 3 of them. So I'm not going to add anything here. But with Mantic, they actually do have a sniper box. Here it is. And that's going to be $25. Now you're going to get 5 of them. So a little bit more than you need, but that's okay. And then with Across the Realms, it's going to cost you $5 to get 3 snipers, which is what I got. Check out this group of snipers as well. Decided to color them a little bit differently so that they can be distinguished on the field, as if their super long rifle doesn't distinguish them, but really happy with them. All right, we got the snipers. Now let's look at the Ogryns. In one-page rules, they changed them into robots. And then here on GW's website, they're called Nork Dead Dog, which I have no idea what that is. But you're going to get 3 of them for $62.50. So GCPS isn't going to have any Ogryns, so we're just going to leave that blank. And then for Across the Realm, they have these 3 for $10. Or you do have a different option, a more updated one. These Brute Assault Breachers for $12.99. So let's go ahead and input that one because I think these are actually cooler models. And then next is Combat Bikers, which used to be Rough Riders. which you get 5 of them here for $62.50. Mantic doesn't have Rough Riders, but they do have these mono bikes, which I think look super cool. But in order to field 5 of them, we're going to need to get 3 packs, and we'll end up with 1 extra. So that's going to cost $90, which is super expensive. I probably would never do that, but we're trying to come up with these numbers here. Now, Across the Realm does have this super cool Lion Cavalry that you could definitely use. But better than that is obviously riding on dinosaurs. So that's going to be $10. And look how awesome these turned out. Just love them riding the dinosaurs, how colorful they are. And I think they look incredible. Next up are the weapon teams. Up here we skipped it. Now remember, because we bought the Combat Patrol, we did get 2 heavy weapons teams. And here is their heavy weapons squad. So we already have 2. And in order for us to have 9 of them, let's just fudge it a little bit and just buy 2 of these, rather than buying 3. We're going to be 1 short, but we can proxy something else in. Mantic has 2 options for heavy weapons because you're only getting 2 in each. So in order to get enough heavy weapons teams to have 9, we actually need to buy 4 of these just to get 8. That's going to be a lot. So that's going to bump us up to 120. These are the GCPS heavy weapons team. Again, just 1 box of them. So I'd have to get multiple ones if I wanted to field this many. And then Across the Realms does have the support weapons, but that's going to be included if you got the campaign for $75, so that's not going to cost anything. Otherwise, it would be $10 if you're buying it separately, and that's going to give you all of these different options. And check out the ones that I printed out. I wanted 6 mortar teams because wanted to have mobility of a unit, but also one of the hallmarks of the Human Defense Force in one-page rules is to be long range and to pound the enemy with long-range weapons. So I wanted to get 6 of them, and then I wanted 3 rocket launchers, and then a couple of other different options. So just by spending $10 here, you can spam a bunch of artillery, mortars, things like that with your support weapon. So you're going to save a ton of money. Let's go ahead and now move over to the vehicles. So the first is getting 2 light APCs or 2 Chimeras. So purchasing 2 of these, $130. Remember, with the GCPS, we did get one of these mules. We just need 2 more. So let's click on here. You get 2 of them. Although, you know what I'm noticing here? It says STL is available. So you are able to, I guess, purchase the STL and 3D print these. So let's go ahead and put in 40 over here for another light APC or transport. And then in Across the Realms, it's included. But if you needed to buy it separately, it is $15 for the Cerberus. Check out these light APCs. I do have removable turrets, so I did print out another turret that I can swap in there. But I think these models look great, able to transport a whole unit across the board and protect them. Next up is the Basilisk support vehicle, 2 of those. So this is going to be 65 times 2. Mantic just came out with this set, which I went over to Miniature Market. You can buy a pack of 3 of them for $85. So it seems like a 3-pack, let's do the retail price is $100. So that will cover your heavy one as well. You just need to paint it differently. Across the Realm, again, I think it's included. Although if you have to buy it separately, it's just the add-on to the Cerberus. So you need to buy the Cerberus and then pay $5 for the add-on for the artillery. These are awesome artillery units, able to hit the enemy from far away, and just love how they turned out. Again, able to print 2 of them out. If I'm printing one, might as well print another one. So awesome to have 2. And then we got the heavy battle tank, which the GW version is the Rogel Dorn. And that is a whopping $105 by itself. Like I mentioned, with Mantic, you're just going to use one of their other vehicles because they don't have a separate tank. And across the realm is going to be the Queen Tiger main battle tank for $20. They do have a medium-sized tank, which I think is included. But look how awesome this turned out. Check out this incredible battle tank where you can switch out what is on the main gun or turret. So this is an incredible and pretty large main battle tank. You could substitute this in for Lehman Russ or even the bigger battle tank if you wanted to, but I think this is a pretty awesome STL file. All right, the final thing is the walkers, and I have 3 of those. I have 1 armored and 2 of these. Now remember, in the base box we did get 1 armored, so let's go ahead and grab 2 of these Sentinels. Additional 90. And remember, with Mantic we did get 2 walkers in this Strike Force box set. So we're just going to purchase another one here. But this is going to be about $25. Here's a comparison between the GCPS or Mantic walkers, which I think, you know, they look fine, although some parts are metal, and that's a little bit of a pain to work with both resin and metal. But take a look compared to the ones from across the realm. I did magnetize all of the arms so I can switch out their loadout whenever I want, but I think these guys look awesome as well, and I'm glad that he came out with 3 different poses for these walkers, which is great. Alright, so let's take a look here. In terms of price to actually purchase all this stuff, it's going to be over $1,000 for GW. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Now I'm surprised by this. I thought Mantic would be a lot cheaper, and it's about half of the price of GW. Now again, I think you can cut down on some of these costs if you double up on the Strike Force or the full army box set for Firefight. So there is a way to lessen this, but I think I am surprised that it is as high as it is. Obviously, with Across the Realms, you're buying digital files, so it's going to be $150. Let's say you're spending another $100 in resin. So this is going to be about $250. So it's going to be half of this amount. So you're basically decreasing the costs of the miniatures by half each single time, from GW to Mantic to Across the Realms. Now here's a key thing though to keep in mind, and that is once you purchase these files, you can print as many as you want. So the relative cost doesn't go up that much more. So it's not like if I printed out 3 more Ogryns or 6 more or 9 more, that this price is increasing. I'm only increasing it maybe a couple of dollars based off of resin or material cost. And again, you know, this doesn't include the printer cost either, but once you sink in that cost, the more that you print out, the more armies that you create, the cheaper that it is going to be. Because just to field the army that I have with GW is going to cost over $1,000. In the long run, you're better off purchasing even the more expensive Hay Gears, which is a boutique printer, rather than going the way of constantly buying GW, because one of the things that drives me crazy is you can't piecemeal maybe 1 or 2, like for example, if I needed 3 snipers, something like that, you have to piecemeal it together, and oftentimes you're getting miniatures that you don't want or need. Same thing with Mantic. One of the things that drives me crazy about Mantic, I actually hate assembling them. Because at least with GW, they're push fit, but with Mantic, because they're meant to be posable, and honestly, I don't care about posing them. I wish they came as one piece, they're a total pain. Across the realms, some of them are posable, some of them are not. I don't care posing them. I usually even will digitally combine some of them to print them out as one piece because I don't really enjoy assembly of miniatures. But there's just obviously a lot more flexibility. I do want to give a quick shout out to Across the Realms. I am a Patreon supporter, so I regularly get his updated files. I'm currently working on a unit of Berserkers to potentially use for One Page Rules Firefight, which is their skirmish version like Kill Team. And I wanted to run some Chaos Marines, so I'm printing those, assembling and printing those out. So just love all of the miniatures that he provides. Looking forward to him coming out with the Sisters of Battle, which is supposedly his next campaign that he's going to be producing. But in the meantime, been really enjoying printing these out because just the factor of cool, being able to field a female army. Miniatures are great. I love the scale of them. Being able to paint them up in these different color schemes has been really, really fun. So just a quick shout out to him. Use the link if you're interested in checking him out, but it's a great deal. Right now with the Black Friday sale that's going on, half off of everything in the store. And you also get a discount if you are a Patreon supporter. So there you have it. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe as it helps me out quite a bit. During this holiday season, go ahead and throw your support to the channel, not only by becoming a Patreon supporter, which is the best way to support the channel, but also go ahead and check out the merch below if you're looking for a gift for your favorite gamer. Use the links for the channel merch or to become a Patreon supporter. Otherwise, happy printing, happy gaming. We'll see you next time.